shoot, I could go Facebook Live right now just off my phone.
Yeah.
So we'll double it up.
Yeah,
right?
we're live now though. So I am in studio with the one and only UFC world champion, Hall of Famer, my old UFC coach, Mr. Pat Miletich. Welcome to the show, the Croatian sensation.
Well, I appreciate that, Nick. You know, Nick at once trained UFC.
Yeah, years ago. So I thought I was tough until I went on a road trip with Pat here, and I heard 14 hours worth of his stories and conquests, and I didn't think I was so tough after that. But we have some very exciting information to share today about why I feel the best I've ever felt in my entire life, and I'm just blown away. So we're gonna get into that in just a minute. Pat's preparing his phone to go live, and while he's doing that, I'm gonna kind of share, like, you guys know me, most of you. I am extremely health conscious. I have about, you good on your end?
It's launched, buddy.
All right, perfect. I have, like, I didn't show you, but I have like 15 different powders downstairs. I've tried everything to be my best. Like, I've been fasting a ton lately and feeling pretty good. Like, I cut meat, I cut alcohol, but there's days like I get sore, you know?
So what you're saying is, with all that shit downstairs, you're wasting money.
No, it's and some of it's good. Like,
Okay,
some of it really works, but in the meantime, like, I've been getting really sore lately. Like, I feel like I have all these aches and pains until something we're going to talk about here, and literally, like, it's all gone. And I feel the best I've ever felt. So you have been posting on your content a lot about a product that you've been working with. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, he's just trying to sell this product. And I saw some really good testimonials. We met at that meetup a couple weeks ago, a month ago, and I bought it. So I bought some of this, and I just set it in my cabinet a couple.
Didn't use it.
I didn't use it. I used it once or twice.
It doesn't help you if you don't use it.
And then I decided, like, all right, I bought this. I'm just gonna use it. So I've been doing it twice a day.
For how long?
6 days.
6 days. And what happened?
I literally feel the best I've felt in my entire life. Like,
so no, when you called me up, was it yesterday morning? Or
yeah.
The day before that?
2 days ago. I think.
2 days ago in the morning, you called me. I was getting ready to go close on my house, right? All that sort of stuff. So I had a lot going on. And you basically go, so about this black oxygen stuff, dude, and you were losing it. Yeah. Right?
Because I've been searching for something like this for so long. And I've tried a lot of different stuff, and some of it's worked, some of it hasn't. But I was at the gym. So here's what happened. I was at the gym. Yeah, you got me all amped up. I was at the gym, and I was on the treadmill, and I'm like, I feel amazing. And I anchor different emotional states with, like, essential oils. So I, like, have the song.
So you're a Karen. You're a Karen, a male Karen with essential oils.
So I have this, like, really like, high energy state that I anchor to, and I played a song, and I'm, like, running, and like I felt so powerful, and, like, I could go forever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, this is what I've been looking for. I'm like, why do I feel so good?
Is your girlfriend watching this?
Single.
You're gonna have some girlfriends now.
Yeah. But so let's talk about what actually happens here. So this stuff is it's bog mud, right? That's 60,000 years old, been refined in a very specific process.
Best way to explain it is Mark St. Onge, who's the founder of the company, figured out a way to use, because fulvic and fulvic minerals and acids most of the time come from inorganic sources, right? Volcanic rock, volcanic ash, stuff like that, like Silajet and other products like that. But not only is it inorganic to begin with, but they use a harsh chemical process and use harsh chemicals to remove the fulvic and fulvic minerals and acid from whatever it is they're removing it from. So it's not organic to begin with, so you don't absorb really a whole lot of it. And two, there's chemicals in it, which are the opposite of what we want to be putting in our body. So Mark St. Onge figured out a way to take basically 60,000-year-old bog mud, which is 1,500 to 2,000 different types of plants that have decomposed for 60,000 years, uses a CO2 pressurized process, no chemicals in it, and freeze dries it, and then concentrates it and put it in these bags and coffee and tablets, and you put it in your body, and your body goes, holy shit, this is what my body's supposed to feel like.
That's what's happened.
So it's 45% more oxygen at a cellular level, which in itself is literally a hyperbaric chamber.
So, I teach spirituality, I teach emotions. Like, oxygen is life. Our energy levels, how much oxygen is in the blood. Like, all ancient traditions, like, the breath is everything.
Right.
And so this stuff is like, I don't have anxiety. I'm not, like, low energy. Like, the days are getting shorter, and I'm getting more energy.
While you're getting 45% more oxygen at a cellular level, It's got 60 times its carrying weight because it's nanonite in size. It can travel into the cell and back out of the cell. So it can carry 60 times its weight in nutrients, and then it delivers oxygen. It activates the mitochondria, which is the furnace of your cell, which gives you energy. That's why I talk like this all day now. I shit you not.
I believe it.
Yeah. So I'm 54 years old, and I did a workout yesterday on the treadmill. I was sprinting on the treadmill doing quarter miles. Dude, I was like, I can't, like, I'm 54. I'm supposed to like be in pain, right? I'm smoking the treadmill up. And, but anyway, and then it's got 60 times its carrying weight to remove heavy metals, toxins, and even viruses from your cell. It's a powerful natural antiviral. I had a doctor confront me about that. And he goes, you can't make claims like that. And I go, I absolutely can. And he goes, no, you can't. And I said, there's research that backs up what I'm telling you. Here's the research. And he reads it and goes, I stand corrected. So this stuff's all backed by research. This isn't snake oil bullshit. We're talking about the real deal. I've been looking for this too, because I was on a product. The reason I knew this was going to work, Nick, when I started my pro kickboxing career before my UFC career, a friend of mine got me on a product called Supercell, which is no longer in that form anymore. They destroyed it about probably 10 years ago. The company got bought out. But that product added 20% more oxygen at a cellular level. I've got damaged respiratory system from black mold as a kid. So I've always had poor endurance, and I always had to work twice as hard as everybody else in high school wrestling and college and all that sort of stuff. And I could never understand why I couldn't breathe. Well, I figured it out finally. The black mold thing came about anyway, but that 20% more oxygen at a cellular level gave me enough endurance to literally start crushing college cross-country teams in trail races. I got to where I was bench pressing 365 pounds, fighting at 170 pounds. I was dunking a basketball back then.
No, you weren't.
I could dunk a basketball.
Okay,
No bullshit.
That's
I made
impressive.
money. I made money off the college basketball team when I told them I could dunk, and I bet them money. And no, the bet was actually, I didn't make money off that one. I bet the basketball team that they had to come to wrestling practice if I could dunk.
Oh, nice.
And I dunked, and they all had to come to wrestling practice, and we destroyed them. Yeah, it's like a bunch of 7-foot dudes from East St. Louis and Chicago getting wrenched on. But no, it's like it resets the gut biome, it resets the glandular system. It's because we've grown food in the same soil for so long, all the minerals are depleted out of the soil. So you're eating roughage, you're eating useless roughage nowadays. And this is replacing what we're supposed to have,
So Pat, one of my main things that I teach is what I call my antenna theory of emotions. And then our body is an antenna for vibrations of thought. I think you've seen me speak on that.
Right.
And, whatever's in your system, like if you're eating meat and alcohol, like it affects the vibration of your cells.
Right.
And so what I realized, like I'm doing this stuff and it's cleaning all the stuff out. Like I did a 3-day fast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like, at the end of that, I'm like, oh, I feel amazing, but you can't sustain that.
Right.
So I found this stuff. I feel like I'm at the end of a 3-day fast, except I'm eating food. And like I have the energy and the power from that.
Right.
And my emotions are, like I told you, I was meditating the other day and like I just started crying from gratitude. Because you can tap into those emotions when your vessel is clean.
Right.
Spiritually, and that's what happens is like those cells get cleaned out. And we talked about the gut biome today. I was like, why is my digestion different? Like, I'm a wrestler. I always thought like I just had these food cravings and I could just sit and eat for hours.
Right.
And it's like that cravings, it's literally gone right now. If I didn't experience it, I wouldn't believe it. So what happens with the gut?
Here's the thing that most people don't understand. I'm sure you're aware of it because you've always been health conscious, but mental illness is run amok these days, right? Society is full of it. You see it on TV every day. I mean, people running around in the streets, burning cars and doing crazy shit. That's not sane people. That's not sanity, right?
Yeah.
People nowadays, by watching one image on a TV, can suddenly rush out into the streets and lose their minds, right?
We've seen it.
We're seeing it over and over. So mental illness is a serious, serious problem these days. That's processed foods, very likely vaccines, a lot of antibiotics people are taking. We don't work outside in the dirt anymore like we used to. All that sort of stuff where you're supposed to pick up the proper microbes. So your gut is sick. Your gut biome is destroyed. The bacteria is all screwed up, and basically that gives off chemicals that affect your thinking because it's called the second brain for a reason, right? So people are mentally ill because of the gut biome being messed up. I learned about that by having blood tests done and realizing, and I'm the supposed to be the macho guy back in the day. And the guy that did Sean at ACI Medicine, he's incredible. Go get blood tests. If you're sick, got problems, whatever, he'll tell you exactly what's wrong with you. But he goes, you've got allergy to gluten. And I go, oh, the whole gluten thing, right?
You're
And he goes,
right now.
well, but he goes, you have so much inflammation. He goes, you have 3 different types of arthritis. Your gut's destroyed. He goes, how's your thinking? I go, it's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking straight anymore, right? And that started really causing problems. So I cut back, way back, not eating bread, not eating pasta, all that sort of stuff. And it started to fix itself. Now, I wasn't perfect by any means, but like my pain's gone because of 4 months of that.
I believe it.
It's gone.
If I didn't experience it, I would think you were full of shit.
I ran the other day. And the only reason I had problems with my SI joint because I was swinging a sledgehammer like for hours the day before.
Yeah.
So I went running, but I went, holy cow, my breathing's perfect. But I got this, my SI joint's all out of whack from swinging a sledgehammer with one side because I had to hit something from a certain angle. But besides that, my breathing was perfect. And 10 days after being on this product, my kids were on it. My wife was on it. My kids started talking at the dinner table. And they're 16 and 18 before my oldest daughter left for college on a rowing scholarship, an academic scholarship. She started talking to her sister going, are your practices like getting really easy now and stuff? Because my rowing, like we were going upriver in the Mississippi, and this is one of the best rowing clubs in the world, not in the nation or the state, like the world. They go all over the world and destroy everybody. The number 2 girl in the world is on that team, and she goes, all of a sudden going upriver, and I'm not even getting tired. I'm not breathing hard. And you know how hard rowing is.
Yeah.
Like it's super hard. And then my other daughter goes, yeah, like I'm recovering between sets like it's nothing. And these kids are already in great shape and young, right? And they're noticing it that much. And then my 50-something-year-old buddies who are runners, ultra runners who run 100 mile at a time, are doing 20-mile and 30-mile training runs. Their times, they're shaving 1 minute to 2 minutes off their per mile time. These guys have been running for decades, dude. You don't shave 1 minute to 2 minutes off your per mile time all of a sudden in your 50s.
Yeah.
Shit doesn't happen. They're doing that, and then their heart rate goes from, like John O'Brien, his heart rate would be at 170 on a 90-degree day right away, he said. Now it's like 135, and he's running faster.
Well, so, like I was describing my time on the treadmill the other day, like you can take a deep breath in and both nostrils are like wide open, and it's like that oxygen just fills every part of you. Yeah. And I've had that, fasting, other times in my life when I just felt really good, but it's like fleeting. And it's literally every day since I've, probably 2 days into this. And I was like, man, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
So I think Ron Turksack asked on your phone, how long did it take to start feeling good? So I'm 5 days in. I would say for me, it was really like day 3 when I was like questioning, like, I feel amazing. I was like, I feel amazing. Like, are my meditations different? Or am I like, what's going on here? My green smoothies, are they different? And then a couple more days, like I think I took some right before bed, and I was laying in bed, like I feel not high, but I feel amazing. Like I'm just breathing, and I was like, what? Oh, I just took this.
Yeah, no, it took me. The only reason probably I wasn't working out. I was super busy doing a bunch of stuff, and I noticed my kids talking at the dinner table. That was the day before Memorial Day, and so I went, well, I'm going to test it. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to run for the average number of veterans that commit suicide per day is 22. So I'm going to go and run 22 miles. I hadn't done any long distance running or really any running for well over a year, dude. And so I went out and I ran straight out Wells Ferry, 11 miles, and then ran back 11 miles. And I woke up the next day and was hardly even sore at all. And I'm 54, running 22 miles after not running for a year. That's
incredible.
So, and then I woke up the next day and I did a 5-mile recovery run the next day. So for me, 10 days. Other people, it takes longer to notice. Other people notice it on the first dose. It varies. And it seems like people that are really in tune with their bodies and people that are super sick are the ones that really like it. And so my body's destroyed.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to notice it a lot, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting better every day. And the thing you talk about with breathing, I literally would feel like, and all the guys that I trained with to do Leadville, I'd go out on these runs with these guys or run bleachers and stuff like that, the stadium stairs, and lactic acid instantly. Like I'm just stuck. Lactic acid just is so bad on me because I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was breathing through a tiny straw with literally like mucus in the straw. I couldn't breathe at all, literally. And now I feel like I'm breathing through a piece of PVC like this. And my sinuses, like my brother went with me to Kansas to one of my broadcasts and stayed in the hotel room with me. And he goes, dude, the only time you snored and just a little bit was when you were flat on your back. Anybody who has
God, I slept with you in Michigan, and there was a door between us. It was horrible.
So I don't snore anymore hardly because the inflammation's gone out of my sinuses. And everything. Yeah. My buddy in Clinton, Pastor Rob. I won't use his last name for his privacy, but anyway, he's in hospice. He was in hospice, right? You know what that's a death sentence, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to the founder of the company, I go, and I have to reiterate, this does not cure, treat, or prevent any diseases or sicknesses. I have to always say that, okay? By law. But I talked to the founder of the company, Mark, and I said, man, I just want to try. I want to get it to him. At least it'll reduce inflammation in his body. He won't be in so much pain and, help him out. And Mark goes, yeah, get it to him. See what happens.
Yeah.
So I got it to him and calls me up 3 days later and says, my hospice nurse just freaked out. She had to take my blood pressure 3 times. And I go, why? And he goes, my blood pressure used to be like, what was it? Like 172 over 62. And then it was 3 days later, 116 over 72 in 3 days. And I said, that's because it's removing the inflammation out of your arteries and veins and your blood pressure's going down, right? And he goes, wow. Then he posts a picture on Facebook 2 months later. He's out in the woods. He's a timber buyer.
Yeah.
So he's out in the woods working. And he goes, officially off hospice. He got kicked out of hospice. Right. And this is not, I'm not bullshitting you. This is real.
I almost don't want to have you like tell that kind of story
because people don't believe it.
It's almost not believable.
Well, here's the cool thing.
And like, this is.
You used to see these videos with me talking like this and saying you're full of shit.
All right. So people have seen me put out content here for years, right? Personal development stuff. Like I have sold almost nothing. Like I don't pitch. Like people know that I'm not here to sell anything.
Yeah. I'm selling the shit out of that because I know it's going to help people.
I'm telling people like, try it.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, every day, if you're not blown away.
Twice a day.
I will buy it back from you at full price.
Well, and there's a money back guarantee on the product anyway.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I will personally buy it back because like it's that incredible.
Right. So the thing is look, my brother did a lot of stuff to treat his mantle cell lymphoma. A lot of natural homeopathic stuff, including black oxygen. And also went to Iowa City and getting chemo and stuff. But his blood tests in 3 weeks of time before he even started his chemo, his white blood cell counts were off the charts, showing massive infection. His red blood cell counts basically showing that he was a bleeder. And his chemicals in his body, like 13 of the 14 were just completely out of whack. And in 3 weeks time, they were back everything was back in the normal range. And now he just got another blood test and it's perfect, like literally perfect. And they can't find mantle cell lymphoma cells in his blood, right? So I sit there and I say to myself, hey, it doesn't treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, but all I know is my brother on the 4th of July at my house looked like he wasn't very long for the world. And now he went out running the day after chemo. And he doesn't have any blisters or sores on his mouth like everybody else who gets chemo. He doesn't have any bruising or abrasions on his body. None of that stuff. And his weight went from like 170. He's 6'4", 6'5". His weight went from 170. He's up to 185 now. Right. And he looks muscular, like he's getting muscular. Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, whatever it's worth, he took the homeopathic way and the medical way, and my brother's still around. And I'm like, what more can you ask for? Right. Yeah. So, and so, there's so many testimonials like that. I had a guy just shoot me and it wouldn't have been funny until the very end of it. But he goes, dude, the guy sent me a testimonial. He goes, this is jet fuel. He goes, I'm not even a runner. And he goes, I went for 45 minutes and felt like I could go forever. Yeah. And the only reason he stopped, he said, is because he literally, quote unquote, said, it felt like my fake hip was going to fly out through my bunghole. Because he was running so hard.
So I was at yoga the other night, and I always know, like, when I'm in a good emotional state, like I've cleaned my body out, like my posture's good, I'm more flexible. Right? Like I lift to get lactic acid, like everything gets tight. That's why I go to yoga, just to keep working that off. But like I lifted the day before, I wasn't sore. I'm at yoga and like full range of motion, like putting my hands on the floor, full flexibility, like full oxygen. And I was like, I'm never going back.
Right. Because once you feel how you're supposed to feel, then you understand it. But so when people really notice this, like my buddy Paul Lazenby, who's a power lifter, he's an actor, used to be an MMA fighter, pro wrestler. Really knowledgeable guy on supplements. Also a very healthy guy. But he got on it and was on it for about a month and then ran out. And because he just tried it, right? He ordered it once to try it, didn't go on auto ship, just tried it. And then his new order that he ordered didn't get in time. So he had a week gap between his first month on it and restarting. And by then your body's not like, best way to explain it, 20% more oxygen than that old product. I was on that for a decade. So it took a long time for my body to deteriorate again because my body had healed so much. But this is 45% more oxygen. If you're on this for 10 years, a decade, it's, and you aren't on it anymore, it's going to take longer to do. But only being on it for a month, he went, now I know it works because I'm back to feeling the way I was. And he just set a world squat record, and he's doing massive deadlifts and all kinds of stuff for 54 years old. And he's like, I'm crushing it.
It's crazy to think that one thing could do all this, but it's most like a lot of it's just oxygen and detoxifying the cells, right? Like if that's all it did, like that's all you really need, because most of the inflammation in our system is
right. And when we say fulvic acid and minerals, people go, well, why is that mineral so special? Why is this mineral so special? Well, because the minerals you buy on GNC shelves and stuff like that, and go to your grocery store and pick it up, most of that stuff is actually synthetic and man-made and duplicated to be molecularly like the natural stuff. Yeah. So you're putting literally chemicals and synthetic minerals and vitamins into your body, which is shit anyway. It goes down the toilet because you're not going to absorb it. It's a waste of time.
So if you eat a leafy green, there's enzymes in that so you can digest it. Well, they take the vitamin C or whatever out of that leafy green, and they leave the enzymes out. Right. So when you take it, there's no way to digest it, so you just get rid of it.
Exactly. Your body doesn't recognize it as something you want in your body anyway. Yeah. So it's toxic, and your body says, get it out. Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, I'm taking this, and I'm 5 days in, and I'm like, all right, what's the worst that could happen? And I'm thinking like the movie Limitless. With Bradley Cooper, where they take that smart drug and he just feels amazing, and when he gets off it, he's like all foggy and it messes him up. So what happens? If I'm on this for a long time, or are there any side effects?
No, it's all organic, plant-based. There's nothing in it that can hurt you. You can't test positive. Like if you work for the government or you're a professional athlete, you can't test positive for anything in it. There's no side effects. It doesn't like with your people that are on prescriptions and stuff. It doesn't. The only thing that does in terms of prescriptions is a lot of people end up lowering or going off of their prescriptions, which is why we have to keep reiterating that it does not treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, because there's people out there that make a lot of money doing things that companies that we don't want them. They're very powerful people, so we can't let them come
I told you, like, I work with people often who have chronic, sometimes diagnosed depression or anxiety, and the first thing I'm going to do is like, I'll work with you after you're on this for 7 days.
I'd say, and then 7 days to 2 weeks.
Yeah, but because, sometimes there are like deep-seated things that need to be worked out through hypnosis, and I totally believe that. But if the body doesn't have the building blocks or can't access them, can't utilize them, like what I'm going to do is might help, but it's not going to give them the energy. It's not going to give them the all around. So I'm like 7 days on this. We'll see how you feel, and then we'll do our work, and that's going to be my new protocol. Because I feel like a new man. I feel incredible.
See, this is the thing. I get testimonials like this every day.
Yeah.
But you have the ability to speak to it. You have your own show, all that sort of stuff. So it helps. It helps to get the word out, obviously. But as far as people getting off prescriptions and stuff, my good friend Jeremy, who will probably see this video eventually, what an amazing story. He had the worst case of rheumatoid arthritis that his doctors had ever seen. He was on $4,300 worth of prescriptions a month, and basically has gotten off. He filmed a video because he became a brand partner after what it did for him. Yeah. He's had five joint replacements, I think, in misery, horrible pain all the time. But now he's like set free, and they can't find rheumatoid arthritis in his blood. Yeah. And he went around a table. He set up the pill bottle, the pills, dumped the pills out on the table, put an index card there with the name of it and how many milligrams and all that sort of stuff, and went around and filmed each prescription around this table that he was on before and talking about it and all of the stuff that he's gotten off of because of it. And that happened in like 2 or 3 months. And so just don't be a slave.
$4,300 a month for, this is $100,
$2 a day
for about 2 months.
It's $2 a day, basically. Because the amount in it at half a teaspoon twice a day comes out to be 50 days, which is going to be, $2 a day, basically.
So I have all those green powders down there
Mhm.
that help. They alkalize the body.
Do you have Greens 85?
I don't have those.
Greens 85 is the greens.
All right,
Like
well,
that's the greens.
If I'm taking your advice on anything, I might have to try that.
So I mix, that's the only thing, two things I take is this and Greens 85,
Okay.
Tim James's chemicalfreebody.com stuff.
Okay.
And I mix those two together in a drink because that has 60 times its carrying weight to deliver nutrients into the cell. So
Yeah.
it's going to carry those greens into the cell. And that's why I'm talking like this. I'm like, yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go.
But that amplitude, intensity, like that emotional freedom, like it comes from having a clean body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and that's what I always talk about is, you know, in my intent theory is like the body's got to be clean, diet, lifestyle. Does it me or is like water different in your body too? Like, I feel like when we drink water, a lot of times like it doesn't always feel like it hydrates us, but now
You absorb it.
It just feels like it's absorbing it.
Well, and that bonds with hydrogen creating oxygen, right? So it's using that. But I was going to say something that's just the CTE that I get accused of, like in political debates with people, and I won't go political, but the other side of the aisle, basically thinking, you know, they'll go, oh, Mr. CTE, Mr. TBI, you know, all this, you know, because I got punched in the head so much.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So anyway, the mental clarity that it gives, you just, it's almost like just at a point it just goes bing. And some people get fogginess early because it's cleaning out the cells.
Yeah.
And so they feel kind of foggy and stuff for a few days, but then like that mental clarity comes and you start thinking perfectly, or at least as good as you can, considering I did get punched for 20 years. But it's doing what the body's supposed to do. It's putting into the body what the body used to get out of the soil, right?
Yeah.
And this is what the human condition is supposed to feel like.
Yeah, it's amazing. And Danielle asked, how do we purchase? Danielle, I'll put a link below and then shoot me a message. We'll go over it. Eric Brown says water is most important. Yeah, water is important too.
Well, think of this. You need nutrients, food, water, and oxygen. So that's one reason I don't wear a mask too, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to restrict my breathing.
Yeah, 100%.
But this gives you 45% more oxygen at a cellular level. It's giving you life, the life you're supposed to have.
And it feels like it.
Yeah. And so one other thing. Yeah, I'll put your link on my video.
Okay.
What is your link?
It's blackoxygenorganics.com/spone trained.
SPOHN trained.
Yep. Spone
Okay.
trained.
So blackoxygenorganics.com/spone trained. Get it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Send me a message if you have any questions.
Yeah, or me. I'll help you out.
Yeah, I literally feel the best I've ever felt.
I'll steer you all towards anybody that sees this video. I'll send everybody to you.
Okay.
I'll send them your link, all of that good stuff. But the thing that I want to talk about too, though, is this is important right now, especially considering what the country's going through. You know, everybody's petrified of the virus. This is a powerful viral. People die from it. A lot of oxygen depletion, right? So 45% more oxygen at the cellular level, but a lot of people are losing their jobs. People are having trouble feeding their kids.
Yeah.
They're losing their houses potentially. A lot of bad stuff's happening. And I felt that pressure. You know, I had put some money away, but look, I didn't work for 18 weeks and it was like God timing. My buddy called me and told me about this product and I went, 45% more oxygen at a cellular level. I'd never heard of anything even remotely close to that. And instantly I went, say no more. Yeah. Like, you don't even need to tell me anymore. It's game over. This is the greatest discovery. Like Mark St. Onge, who discovered how to use the CO2 process to remove the fulvic from the bog mud and not use a chemical process, should get a Nobel Prize for this discovery. I'm not even remotely sandbagging on that and saying like he should absolutely get one. It's
from 5 days in, like, it's that good.
And it gets better. I'm at 4 months now, and it's like, I'm telling you, my body, people don't understand. I was in the equivalent of thousands of car wrecks in my life, like thousands.
Yeah.
And I don't have pain.
I wrenched on you a couple times.
Yeah, because I was getting older, and yeah. But,
well, it went both ways.
But what it gave me in a short amount of time, because I couldn't quit talking about it. I mean, I sell this, dude. I sell this every restaurant I go to. I'm selling everybody that's around me.
Yeah.
Like, I just start talking about it. I was in a gas station in South Dakota. Lady had a patch on her arm. I go, "Oh, you're trying to quit smoking? That's awesome." She goes, "No, I'm a diabetic. I got something for that." I gave her the link. She ordered it like an hour later, right? And she's probably up there in South Dakota going, holy shit, like you changed my life. Who is this guy?
Or she left it on her counter like I did for a
I hope
month,
not.
not knowing how good it was going to be.
How long was it sitting?
A month. I mean, we met a month and a half ago. I don't know. Yeah, it was,
See,
it was this summer. So
here's the thing that I have trouble with. So, all right. Yes, I did win a world title. I held it for about 4 years. I was actually pretty good back in the day. I coached a lot of guys. I kind of knew what I was doing.
Absolutely.
I knew how to build a fighter. I knew it was a conveyor belt. I figured that out, right? And through all those years, hundreds of companies would come to me. This is the best supplement. This is the best. And I became a label reader, and I'd look at stuff, and I'd get to the point where I'd go, that's, I'd take it back to my hotel room or whatever because they gave it to me at a show or this or that. And I'd look at it. I'd look at the ingredients on the back. It'd go straight in a round file, right? I'd just throw it away. I wouldn't even bring it home.
Yeah.
A few products I'd use, but in my entire career, my entire life, there's been 3 products that changed my life. One made me a world champion at 20% more oxygen. Mm-hmm. One activated my pituitary gland and sent me back into REM sleep and started to heal my body. 2 pretty amazing products.
Yeah.
This at 45% more oxygen blows both of those like out of the water. And one made me a world champion. So I know products. I know what works.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I know. And you didn't fucking listen to me for a month.
So I wouldn't have bought it except we were like at this in-person meeting. He's raving about it. I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll try it. So I ordered it, and then I keep seeing him posting it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna commit to taking it twice a day.
Right.
And the rest is history. Yeah, it's fantastic. So
yeah, go to blackoxygenorganics.com/spawn trained. Next last name and then trained, and order it and get the powder. The powder, I like the powder.
I like the powder.
People use the coffee too as an extra dose. There's little satchel pockets, and then there's tabs that you can take with you for traveling.
So I had to give up coffee because I'm like real sensitive to like caffeine, and I've always been to like the painkillers, anesthesia.
Mm-hmm. You don't need coffee now either because of that.
No, and I don't crave it.
Right.
But this is like, it's just stable. Like I feel amazing. I'm alert
all day.
There's no like jittery. Like
yep.
I often get like my coffee like diffuses my energy. This is like
and I think of me. I'm an older guy, mid-50s, and I would at 1 o'clock in the afternoon be in my office at home and literally go boof, and I'd drop off to sleep, and I'd wake up like 30, 45 minutes later. Yeah. And go, wow, how long have I been asleep? Holy cow! Right. I have none of that. Like right now it's 4 o'clock. I'll go like this until 10 o'clock, maybe midnight. I'll fall asleep. I'll wake up at 4 or 5, go work out, and just do it all over.
I woke up at 5 this morning, went straight to the gym.
Yeah.
Had a great workout.
I had one guy tell me he got his dad on it. His dad tore his Achilles, and his dad's obviously older in his 60s or whatever. And he goes, dude, he calls me up and he goes, dude, my dad hasn't been to the gym for like a decade. He went to the gym this morning at 5 o'clock, dude. Like this stuff's working. Like, yeah,
it's incredible.
Just listen.
And guys, if you don't like it, after 2 weeks of using it every day, let me know. I will buy it from you. Or there's a refund policy, right? If you don't like it. So
yes, you get your money back. If it doesn't work for you, you can get your money back guarantee. But Nick will buy it, and for good reason, because it's funny. Because once you start feeling it, you tell me you're going to laugh when this happens to you too. You're going to go to put it in something, and you're going to spill some of it, the powder on, and it's going to be like you'll be like
I'm going to lick my finger and dab it.
You'll be like a cokehead, like scooping up the black ox.
It's guys, it's miraculous. It's really that good. I feel amazing.
It's legit.
So try it out. I bought 1 bag of it before I joined the whatever the program is.
You're selling it now because you know it works.
But once I hit this level, I was like, everybody's got to do this.
Yeah.
And I started messaging people, and
that's the thing is I don't sell bullshit. I will not sell bullshit. I mean, I believed in martial arts. I could sell it really easy, right? I could sell people. I believed in what I could do as far as training people as a coach. I could train people, right? I believe in that product. I know that product, because of that product, I could walk away from TV broadcasting jobs that I have, but I love broadcasting still. Yeah. So I'm going to keep doing it. But honestly, if everything ended today and I got fired for saying something stupid on air, which is very possible, by the way.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
But I could do that and pay, my bills easily and have money left over. And look, you can pay for your house, car payment, all this, that. I can do that in 4 months' time. In 3 years' time, because I'm going to do this every day. With anybody that wants to do a video, I'm going to do videos and talk about this till the cows come home. And I mean, I will have basically bequeathed probably in the end millions of dollars to my children because of it.
Yeah.
No,
It's that good. It's really,
it is.
It's really,
It is, dude. It's
really
no joke.
amazing.
I try to tell people. Some people go, oh, former pro fighter goes, oh, you're selling like some glorified electrolyte drink now, huh, Miletich? And I go, well, you might want to try it before you start talking like that. You might want to put it in reverse. And then he said one more thing that was kind of a snide remark, and I just went, you know what? I just don't even deal with negativity anymore.
Yeah.
Like where I used to entertain it a little bit. So I just went block, you're gone. And then I'll move on with life. But you know, it's just all, this is about positive stuff, about helping people, about helping my kids, you know, and seeing people just smile again,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Because for me, like I come at it from the emotional angle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, I didn't even do the research. I trusted you and I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But the research is all there. It's on the website, right?
Athletes are, so that's the thing.
I wish I had it as a wrestler. Like,
right,
oh my
right.
God.
So the last thing I'll say is this, and I'll let you close it out, is the company formulated this with healing in mind, right? People with arthritis, people with breathing problems, all that sort of stuff, right? When I talked to Mark St. Onge and Carlo Garibaldi, who's their CEO and president of the company, I said, you guys have no idea what you've just done to endurance athletics and combat sports. Like there's going to be world records are going to get crushed because of this stuff. And they go, you know, we figured that it would probably help with endurance, but we were initially doing it to heal people, right? Now think of it's literally you walk out your front door and you see the first person you see needs that because everybody's so sick, right? Everybody's sick.
And I take care of myself, and I always had aches and pains. Like,
yeah.
Nobody, you know, nobody has a cleaner diet than me that I'm around. No one's fasting more, like going to the sauna. Like I'm doing everything, and now I'm like,
yeah, no doubt. And you know, I will say this though, you guys. Nick does this show standing up. He's got this cool table to set up the lights. It's pretty cool setup. But one thing I didn't realize is he does this show to make himself look taller. He wears heels.
That's what it is. I am taller than you. You're just getting old. You're shrinking with age. All right. So I think that's it. I'll put the link below. But seriously, send me a message if you're interested. I'd just love to talk to you about it. And
change your health. And after you feel it, you'll probably want to share it with a bunch of people. You can get with Nick. Nick will help you sell it. And I'll, of course, help. And we're going to just change a bunch of people's lives, man.
Absolutely. All right. Can't wait to hear from you guys. Thanks.